Another D. McDonald Designs book, Crayons and Colored Pencils, Adult Coloring Book 3. The cover was colored by Rosalie Ramsey. It's the pretty pink book, and it's all about the Gourd Girls that I created long ago. Here is the back of the book, and all of these were colored by Donna Pecoraro of New York. New York, New York. This book is 11.5 ounces and 102 pages. Crayons and colored pencils. So let's take a look inside. These are not single-sided, and that is why they're crayons and colored pencils. I highly recommend, even though you they won't bleed through, if you don't want it to rub off on the other side of the page, if when you're coloring on this side, make sure you put a piece of paper in between them as you go, because as you press, your crayon will come off a bit. So these are weird and wacky and strange and different, and they all were inspired by, this is a really weird book. They were inspired by the common gourd, and I've always enjoyed them, and I loved going to art in the park places and seeing what people did with their dried gourds. I tried growing them. I failed miserably at it, and so I turned them into people. People who are nice to people are the best kind of people, you know. This is sort of a sexy gourd girl. Fun, crazy, great with crayons, and that's why it's crayons and colored pencils. You have some pretty large spaces in here. Here we have some little ones. Little littles. Kind of a snaily design there. Here she is hugging a heart. She's a heart hugging babe. Very weird. This is when I start learning how to do things with my technology and how to play. And so I just sort of fell upon when I was doing this. I went, I see a heart there. The heart is weird, and it's filled with the heart hugging girls. Mm-hmm. We're almost done. This is not an enormous book, but it's a fun book. Like, it's also a very popular book in my group. On my Amazon account, $7. That's right, $7 gets you this book. I marked it down at some point for some kind of Deb deal special, and I never bothered to mark it up. So it's gonna just stay at $7. It's worth $7 and strange and unusual. She's cool. I think I want to get out my glitter pens. All right, this one does not go into single-sided pages at the end like some of the other ones. I did a long time ago. I have it dated at 2007. When I first started creating coloring books, I worked in an office, and I was constantly doodling on the desk pad, the calendar pad, and the man that owned the company said, couldn't you do that somewhere else? Well, yeah, look at all the paper you have in the Xerox machine. This is also very old, 2004. And then I had to trace over the whole thing to get it pixelized. So that was done in 2007. And this is actually a painting that hangs on the, well, it used to at least, I don't know, who knows now where it went, but it was an original painting. And I turned into coloring page. 2009 she is from. And then here's a little bit of the adult coloring buffet. Little thing on that. I have a Color My Clocks book, and here's a clock to color. And I don't know. I just threw these in. Sometimes I throw them in the back because I actually want to know how they'll color on this paper, and so you never know what's going to show up in the back of my books. A little bit of Christmas, and this is before I actually thought about putting what the name of the book was. Like I'd remember forever, and I don't, because with the amount of books I've created, I can't keep all that in my scattered brain drawer that I have. You know how people in their kitchen have a junk drawer? I have a whole big ton of junk in my trunk upstairs. Huge trunk of stuff in there, too much. Thank you for your purchase. So I haven't done that like that in a long, long time. And this book was published in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, on the first day of November 2017. There you have it. It doesn't even have a name on the spine. It's not an enormous book, but there's plenty to color in this book. Plenty. All right. I thank you for sharing. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for liking. And if you do own the book, please let people know that if you know that you've enjoyed it. If you should travel back over here and take a look. I'm going to end this video now, because I'm going to be hopping right back on here and doing all of these books until I get to number 1.